getting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500. This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Good morning. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm the host of The Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Due to popular demand, today we bring back Bob Allison's Ask Your Neighbor radio broadcast. Bob passed away last March, and due to the current COVID crisis, his broadcast left the air after nearly 60 years of solving household problems for the neighbors. But today, we'll devote a portion of this broadcast to helping you, the neighbors. It could be looking for a particular recipe, where to buy it, how to do it, advice of travel or personal matters, and more. I've invited Bob's son, Rob, to join us for his thoughts and input. Rob has been a critical part of Ask Your Neighbor for some 25 years. The Ask Your Neighbor website, askyourneighbor.com, still offers a number of Bob Allison's popular cookbooks and hundreds of recipes as well. Do you have a common household problem that you'd like solved? Well, while we're on the air, why don't you call our call-in number 248-557-3300 and ask your neighbor. That's 248-557-3300 for the next hour. Wow. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I am a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruz Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUZ, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruzhearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruz Hearing, ask for the free cookbook, and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 1-888-489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980. And hopefully you write that toll-free number down, 1-888-489-8980. That's available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And during regular light hours, although now we're daylight saving time. Point is as long as it's anytime during while the sun is out, if you press the number 1, you can speak to me directly, and I welcome calls. And I know a lot of people are sort of shy about calling in on the air. And quite frankly, that's the wonderful thing about radio, is that you don't have to dress up or anything. You can even call in on your pajamas. And I welcome calls during the week. I am always interested in helping seniors and anyone listening to this program, if they're not a senior. And but everybody hopefully is going to be a senior, especially now with the current situation. If you're in need of help in getting a job, or possibly want to do volunteer work if you're in that senior category, I got umpteen, and I don't know how much umpteen is, but it's a lot of opportunities for you to mingle with the people that need your help. And although we have restrictions now in terms of being less than 6 feet apart, point is that with masks and shields, we can still live an enjoyable life. I don't want to get into the controversy about going out as to how is that good for you or not. That's of course up to you, your medical condition. If you're frail and you've got some serious medical issues, it's obviously important that you really stick around family and all that you're close to. But don't become a prisoner. You know, the sad part is I know a lot of people who have not been out for months because they're so afraid of getting infected. Truth of it is that if you wear masks, wash your hands, basics, you can live quite a normal life. I don't suggest you start getting into marathons and stuff. And of course, be wise. The trouble with a lot of people, when they hear something bad, they think of the worst of it. I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but if everyone wore masks, we would not be nearly the situation that we're in now. I was listening to one interview this morning, and the truth of it is, had we been just cautious in terms of staying apart at least 6 feet, but most importantly, wearing a mask has been proven to cut down the spread of the virus. But life goes on, and one of the things that I see that's favorable in terms of loved ones that you want to take care of, become creative in terms of actually instead of going into a nursing home, there's certainly need for nursing homes, but if you'd like to have your home renovated so that you could accommodate the loved one, it may sound sort of off track, but one of the companies that I've worked with has a concept called Healthcare Suite, where they've got blueprints where they can convert an attached garage to living quarters. Why not consider having someone that you want to be close to and oversee their care right under the same roof that you're in? And of course, the most important part is if you are at home, that you practice smart strategies in terms of making your home safer with home injury control. What do you mean by home injury control? And in fact, you're welcome to call in while we're on the air if you have any suggestions. On the air phone number 248-557-3300. We work with House Calls on Wheels, where you have medical and non-medical care right in your home. In fact, one of our sponsors, Cruise Hearing, if you need hearing testing, can be done right in your home. We even have a mobile dental service. So if you are gun shy about getting out and possibly being in contact with somebody that may infect you, by all means, give us a call. Our toll-free number when we're off the air is 888-489-80. We work with various fire departments that offer free in-home inspection. Fire extinguisher, when is it last been checked? You have that type of service available through the various programs that may cost you nothing. But you gotta call, you gotta do something. You know, I have pet peeves of certain sayings I hear. If you see something, say something. Well, you know, there's something very terribly wrong with that. If you see something and you just say something, make sure that you say it to the right person that can do something about it. And in fact, if you are available today, rather short notice, but from 1 to 2 o'clock at the Caustic Center, right on 11 Mile and Middle Belt. Official address is 28608 West 11 Mile Road. But best landmark is that it's right next to the Mercy School at 11 Mile and Middle Belt. I'll be facilitating our friends group, and we'll meet on the first Wednesday of each month. You're welcome to join us. We're going to have Jenny Jarvis, who is the communications coordinator for the Area Agency on Aging. And if you don't know about the Area Agency on Aging, by all means, give us a call, because they cover 5 counties: Livingston, Macomb, Monroe, Oakland, St. Clair, and Washtenaw. We can put you in touch with the right people. So if you see something, give us a call, say something, and we'll follow up on it. There's unfortunately a lot of unscrupulous people out there who are taking advantage of the current situation and coming up with some fraudulent schemes. And unfortunately, too, those people that are get involved in one of these frauds is embarrassed if they do get taken advantage of to tell their friends, because they feel their friends will think that they're stupid, that why did they go for it. Some of these calls you get now are really unforgivable in terms of if they're fraudulent, because there's a lot of vulnerable people that just welcome a human voice. And that's what's so wonderful about our radio program, is that if you call in while we're on the air, we can help in identifying how we can help you, as well as helping the other neighbors and listeners to the program. In terms of basics of how to actually make your home safer, some of the things that are readily available, and we work with specialists involved in safety measures, and we'll be glad to do a free home inspection for you and point out areas that you may, get used to and not think it's a hazard. But if you're sort of beginning to get weaker on your legs and what have you, why not have shower and the bath chairs? What about bathtub rails? We can do all of that, and in many cases, if it's medically related, insurance does cover that if the doctor feels that this is what you need to stay safe. And rather than having a regular shower, why not have a handheld shower? And again, we can provide you with the right people to make your life safer and hopefully happier. And one of the things that you might want to consider in terms of being happier is giving yourself a treat. And that's why I'm so pleased that Ori Bakery, that's one of our sponsors, has all their goodies, so to speak, on the web, and they can ship you the sweet goods. And why not invite, your nearby friends? You wear masks, and you can enjoy each other's company, as well as have a sweet, safe day. Right now, I'd like to take a brief break, and when you get back, we'll give you a few other tips on how to enjoy life, even though we've got so many different problems in terms of restrictions. So don't go away. We will be right back. In 1932, John B. Frentz moved to Royal Oak and opened Frentz Hardware. In addition to the personal service, the family offered the community a store that provided those needed everyday hardware items. Plus, they specialize in unusual and hard-to-find products. Right now, you'll find all the gardening hardware, fertilizer, seeds, weed killers, and more for your landscape. Frentz Hardware is still family-run at the corner of Main Street and 11.5-mile road in Royal Oak, and according to Popular Mechanics magazine, is one of the top 12 hardware stores in the United States. If you can't find it anywhere, you'll find it at Frentz. They're open every day. Call 248-544-8111. And when you call, Bob Allison's cookbooks are available for free. A limited supply is available. And if you would like some information on Bob Allison's cookbooks, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But for hardware needs, call them directly, 248-544-8111. With all those numbers, I assume you'll be able to get a lottery ticket for free, or at least $1 million. Hope that you check out Frentz Hardware in Royal Oak. Thank you. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ori Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ori Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. And it's sweet to be able to communicate with you and to make it a two-way conversation. By all means, call us for the next 45 minutes while we're on the air, 248-557-3300. If you are planning something special for Thanksgiving, it'd be interesting to hear how you plan your visits. One of my cousins who likes to entertain is having us each bring our own little package of what we like. And we plan on just sitting separately enough so that it's safe. And rather than burdening any one person, why not each have their own little package that they can prepare? Or the key is when you analyze it, the only thing that you really need at that point is a place and the people that you want to be around. It's sad that some people have restricted no one coming to their home and what have you. And I can't stress the importance of being in touch with other people. We really don't appreciate how valuable it is just to see someone that you're close to. Even if you can't really shake their hands and hug them, hopefully we're going to get to that soon. But in the interim, one of the fun things that you might want to consider doing is there are various organizations. In fact, out in Bloomfield Hills, the church on Long Lake Road has concerts Saturday night at 7 o'clock, where there's a limited number of people that can get into church. It's Kirk in the Hills Church. I actually enjoyed the concert last Saturday night, 7 o'clock. You can sit in your car and you can wave to some of your neighbors. And it's amazing how that makes you feel really close to people. Just being able to see someone. We were born to socialize. And the sad part is that a lot of people have become so limited in their getting around that they become depressed about it. And there's really no reason to really shut down in total. And if need be, why not just call people that you haven't talked to in a while? I like to go for walks, and what I do is I just write up in a simple card, "Hi, I'm your neighbor, and would like to hear if there's anything that I can do to help you." The camaraderie that you can now create is unbelievable, and people are open to, most people are anyway. There are some people that you don't want to be around. I have a series of Ikeisms because of my first name, and one of them is that every human being makes another human being happier with their presence. Some with their coming and some with their going. So the point is that many times you can actually be appreciated just by not coming, by just giving a call and making the connection. And I cannot stress the importance that if you are in need of something, that you just sort of brood about it and just, say, "Oh, woe is me." This is the greatest country in the whole world, and now, especially with all of the bickering that's going on, we many times forget how terrific our country really is in terms of helping one another. And that's why I give out my toll-free number, 888-489-8980. In fact, one of the companies that I'm working with, you've seen these one-button phone type things, medical alerts they're referred to. Well, most of them you pay, and all they are able to do is call 911 or an ambulance. But our company, same sort of service, for just $1.50 a day, like $45 a month. You can have a one-button unit that if you press that, a human being answers it 24 hours a day. And if it's an emergency, of course, they do the usual thing with prior instructions. If you need an ambulance, they'll send out an ambulance. And if you need a fire department, of course, and all the emergencies with that one button. But what if you don't need to have an emergency? What if you just want a ride to go to the doctor? Well, that's the beautiful part about this service. You press that button and arrangements can be made to get you to your doctor, to your grocery store. And the truth of it is that a lot of people, as they age, their eyesight is not so great. And as a result, they have a problem in terms of dialing the phone. Well, they'll make the phone calls for you as well. Once you give them who the contact people is, that's all for that $1.50 a day. If you'd like more information on that, by all means, call us at 1-888-489-8980. And there are so many products out there that can make a difference in your life without really major expenses. And many times, simple, basic things, like, for instance, reachers, and also all kinds of daily needed type of products are available. And, of course, one of the sponsors is Able Zone. They're out in Troy, and they've got all kinds of ways that, no matter what your limitation is, to make life easier. In fact, if you're interested, the hearing aid companies, Cruise Hearing especially, has a free phone for you if you're on Medicare, whereby it's a caption phone. You plug it in, and the phone, whenever anyone calls you, actually on the screen, whatever they're saying comes on. You can speak to them, of course, but if your hearing is limited, why go through the frustration of not being able to hear the conversation? So the truth of it is, if you are in need of anything, give us a call at 1-888-489-80. And I welcome whatever I can do to have you in touch with us so that we can make your life easier. Right now, we got to wrap up this segment of our program because we're going to be getting into the entrepreneurs segment, the career opportunities that are available for you. And I'm really looking forward to interviewing a dynamic entrepreneur. His name is Dan Nichols. And Dan Nichols, because he's an entrepreneur, is able to make you serious dollars. I think he was born with that name on purpose. Right now, we're going to wrap it up for this segment, which I always like to remind you is that yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking in life and the bright side of aging. We'll be right back after our brief break. For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of neighbors improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. In fact, I am a client. If you don't hear as well as you'd like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have an excellent selection of hearing units to fit just about any need and budget with financing available. Trust me, I can attest to that personally. They have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Farmington Hills, Taylor, and their newest in Waterford on M59, west of the airport. Phone Cruise Hearing Aid Service toll-free for a free hearing evaluation. Their phone number is 877-456-CRUISE, C-R-U-Z, or visit them on their web at cruisehearing.com. That number again is 877-456-2789. Financing is available. And Bob Allison, who is no longer around, was one of the clients, and Bob Allison's cookbooks are available. If you call Cruise Hearing, ask for the free cookbook and get a free hearing evaluation at the same time. For that, call 888-489-8980. Call 1-888-489-8980. Even if you don't get the hearing aids, you'll still get a free hearing test as well as a free Bob Allison cookbook. 1-888-489-8980. And welcome to our entrepreneur segment, whereby we give you strategies and ideas on how you can start or build your own business. And now with the current virus situation, some practical home-based type businesses that we can assist you not only in getting started, but how to build them. And I'm really excited about having a good friend and entrepreneur's entrepreneur. In fact, he claims he was an entrepreneur from the days way back then when he was under 10 years old. His name is Dan Nichols. He is the founder of really an exciting concept of how once you start a business, how do you grow the business? Now, Dan, being a creative guy, said, hey, I've been in entrepreneurship for all my life. And one of the biggest issues after you get started in a business is how do you grow the business? So Dan said to himself, I've got an idea that I should start a studio and call it Grow Studios. Is that right, Dan Nichols?
That's an accurate statement, Ike, and thanks for having me on your show.
Well, it's a delight to be able to hear your sexy sounding voice. And for those of you who are not aware, Dan is multi-talented and actually is not only is he an entrepreneur, but he's got several business ventures. So to get started, why don't we do the 60-second elevator pitch that you have done probably thousands of times over the years. So share with us one of those. Okay, go for it.
It's tough, like when you put me on and tell me you got to do a 60 seconds, because I know that's a big deal. You do those at your meetings, and I don't know that I exactly have one, but I can tell you really quickly what's in my heart of hearts is helping entrepreneurs do what you said just a moment ago, which is to grow. I mean, if I have a DNA, in essence, a piece of me, is clearly helping people grow what they've got. It's always been a passion. I've spent countless hours on the phone, on emails, on websites, and just helping people grow what they have. It's my passion. And so much so that sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees, right? You can't see it through that because you're in it. And the reality is what I've really always loved doing is, yes, I like being an entrepreneur. Yes, I like the different businesses that I've started over the years. But what I like most is helping other people take this idea that they have and go from the starting line to getting it launched and to their first dollar, their first sale. And to be completely candid, I'm happy to help after that. But what excites me most, though, is watching that growth, that initial early stage growth. That I'm just passionate about that because I really know at the heart of all that whole thing, it's psychology. I mean, we can all have business plans. I have a program to help people launch businesses, as you know. I teach at the Royal Oak Public Library classes, as you know. And at the end of the day, we got to get our word heard. People got to know who we are and what it is we do in order to sell what we have, right?
Mm-hmm, so, absolutely.
So that's what happened. My other two businesses, entertainment. I do corporate game shows mostly all over the country. I've done them for all sorts of different size companies. So I do Family Feud and Jeopardy style game shows for people. I also do like living room style parties, but I mostly do the corporate's definitely my target market. But so that business it's the entertainment industry, and when it's corporate dollars, and then you have this thing called Corona come dancing into the party, it's a new problem, right? So I looked at that and I thought, you know what, I'm never going to give up the entertainment piece. That's something I love doing, but I need to pivot here. I need to make a change because my other business was corporate training, helping people get along better, helping companies simply get along better. But both of those things, training and entertainment, are the first two things that companies cut when things get tougher, i.e., that is the environment we're in right now with Corona. So I pivoted and I created this thing called Grow Studios, and it really is exciting to me, and I help people to get their word out. I've been using the internet to get the word out by way of video since YouTube, pretty much since the first year or two of YouTube, which is about 13, 14 years ago. And it's worked for me, and I know how to make video work for other people with their businesses.
Mm-hmm. Now, you have a regular studio on Big Beaver. Do you want to tell us about what you're capable of doing for someone out there that this guy sounds like he's got his act together? I'd like to check it out. So do you want to describe, you walk in and what do you have set up over there?
Well, first off, Ike on the left-hand side. No, I'm kidding. No, so first off, I've got a kitchenette and I've got a green room. Now, I didn't paint the walls green. I just didn't want to do that. But I have a quote-unquote green room so people can get changed or swap out shirts or whatever, so it has a different look if they're doing some videos. So that's that. And then they come into the main area, which is the studio. And the studio is, I got a 20-foot green screen that can be used. I've got a couple of different backdrops. I've got like a brick backdrop and a plain gray backdrop. So I have different looks and feels. I've got a cool sort of boxwood, greenery kind of, maybe like yoga instructors or somebody might want to have something like that kind of cool going, like a Zen look. So anyway, just different backdrops. I've got multiple professional lights. I've got 4 professional 4K cameras, video cameras. So I am all dialed in for 2 reasons. One, I've got shows of my own that I'm going to produce, which is basically taking entrepreneurs in, interviewing them about their business, and then helping them sell live on Facebook and YouTube, sell live what it is they make, whether it's an invention or whether it's maybe artwork, honey, beeswax, I don't know, whatever it is they got to sell, furniture. I'm here to help them sell that, and I'm going to do live shows. In fact, if anybody's listening right now and has something to sell and they're just having trouble getting the word out, I'd love to have you in my studio. I can't fit a car in here. We can't get it up on the elevator. But things that you could get up on an elevator, we can put on the studio. And I would just like to help them sell that. And then I've got different packages so people can rent by the hour, or I have a subscription program so people can kind of commit like they do with a gym. The way one might do a gym, you feel guilty if you're not using the membership. I've got the same kind of thing here where people will commit to a couple of hours a month of content production, because we're living in an age now more than ever because of the whole COVID. Now more than ever, people are not meeting face to face. Video has become, not quickly become, it has become the go-to way for sales. And if you have a company and you've got to sell something and you're not using video, you're going to be extinct real soon if you're not already. Because people, that's how we get the word out. That's how people, what are the 3 big obstacles? Like know, like, and trust. Mm-hmm. And video pours gasoline on that whole process. It accelerates that process. It speeds it up. You can have a podcast with just audio only, and that's great. People, you've been on for a long time. People have learned to know, like, and trust you. With video, you can make that even quicker because people get to see you now. We're primal before we're anything else. And video allows us to accelerate and collapse that process. So even like with my game show business, what used to take me maybe a month to sell goes through various committees and all they're passing around my proposal. When I discovered that I could put it to video and share a video with them and my PDF document both at the same time, it changed everything. I went from 4 to usually about a 4-week sales cycle down to 4 or 5 days just by sending them a video and adding that piece of charisma. Because after all, if I'm the entertainer and they're bringing me in the room, they want to feel comfortable with me. And that video allows that to happen quicker.
Right. Well, one of the frustrating things I've run into is that a lot of people get some of these apps and they get a smartphone and they figure, hey, I can do this myself. Well, I got news for you. It's like the usual thing. This is maybe off track, but the entrepreneur network meetings, when we were meeting in person, by the way, Dan's going to be our speaker next Tuesday from 12 to 1. If you want to participate in the Zoom meetings, that's the wonderful thing about what has happened, is that now it's very fashionable to do a Zoom meeting and not to have to travel at all. And the point is that it's hokey pokey, and I remember so many times where people would come to the meeting and give me a business card that they proudly announced, I didn't go to a printer, I did this on my own printer. And guess what? That card looked like it was not on your own printer. It was hokey pokey. What you're able to do, and what I really am excited about what you're doing, and I really look forward to working with you. I was at your studio, is that if you have all of the equipment, you can be a star walking in, and if you don't know what the heck to say, Dan, you help them put the script together and the whole program as to how best to present them, and the final product is professional. You actually go right from the baby steps, so to speak. Someone's got an idea, but they, visualize it's going to be an instant success, and it ain't. So give us an idea. Someone comes in, first of all, you give them a critique of their idea as to whether it's got a market.
Yeah, so, and you bring up a great point too, Ike, is that I don't care what industry it is, somebody always raises the bar, right? So where a home basement video might have been great 2 years ago, now that's changing. I mean, after all, Hollywood evolved from this, right? People started shooting simple videos, and the next thing somebody said, what if we put some extra lighting on that? We can make this even better, right? So you're right. This ups the bar. This makes more professional presentation. And you made another point, which was, if you're not good in front of a camera, a decent interviewer can make you look better.
Mm-hmm.
If you are good, a good interviewer can make you look great. And that's something that just comes natural to me. It's part of who I am. I can bring somebody in studio. In fact, on Friday, I've got a couple of women coming in that have a business, a coaching business, and I'm going to interview them because it's easier for them to shine when the right questions are asked and the right energy and passion is conveyed on the video. Some people are just uncomfortable on the camera. I am not. I just never have that. I love it. So that's no problem for me. And then you said, what happens when people come into the office? So when they come into the office, there's usually two big questions I want to know. I want to know who's your upstream and where's the friction. So what I mean by where's the friction is, where's the friction in your sales process? Where is it people get bogged down? If they go to your website, for example, and then they go to click and buy your product, and up pops a window that says, sorry, we don't have this, or here's a picture of our latest product. What if that's a really lousy product? What if it just doesn't touch, move, and inspire somebody to want to make the purchase? So with video, we can make that all better. I can't make a lousy, stupid idea of a product, great. I'm not going to pretend, that's the case. But I'm happy to sit down with people, and I want to know where's the friction in the process. Well, Dan, I can't, I was talking to a guy the other day. He works for a company that sells automotive switches right here in my building in Troy. By the way, you were right. I'm on Big Beaver Road, and I'm just west a couple of buildings of the Somerset Mall. I'm actually on the other side of the street from what used to be the old Kmart Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so there's that. But so people would come in. I also want to know what's upstream. I feel like I just jumped topics. So I just did that thing that we do. We went to the next shiny object. So anyway, with the what's your upstream? What do I mean by that? I'm going to give you an example so that I think it's quicker. The example is this. When I started a disc jockey business 27 years ago, helping people with weddings and corporate events, which ultimately evolved into doing the game shows as well, When I started that, I was, doing what most people were doing, business cards, meeting the right people. Frankly, what worked for me the quickest way, and some people thought it wasn't professional, but I thought it was basic human instinct, was I would give people a spiff, so if a banquet, event coordinator referred me, I'd give her $50 or $100 for the referral. Well, it's pretty easy to make friends fast when you're hand in hand. And like a lot of people are like, oh, here's my business card, hand them out. Well, at the end of the day, it's the same old radio station question, right? What's in it for them? Well, what was in it for them was a handshake with $50 or $100 in it. And that was 27 years ago. So I would give them cash, and then they would start referring me to people. Well, it didn't take long. Then the people themselves started referring me to people. So that was my upstream. My upstream was the banquet coordinator. Well, then when video came out, I learned quickly, I knew what my upstream, the very first thing people would book before they booked a disc jockey is they would book the venue, the facility, the country club, right? So I needed to get a bride's attention at that particular level, right? I needed to get him there. So what I did was when I went to a country club or a wedding venue of some kind to do an event, I'd take my phone out and I would video record not only the grand ballroom, but I would video record the linens on the table. I would video record the bathroom. I would video record everything. Why? Because brides sitting at home could pull up a YouTube video and type in, for example, Townsend Hotel. And guess who'd pop up? Me, with my video. And I would provide them value, like, I would provide them value. And that's a big thing too, people. Like, if you're thinking you want to make a commercial with video, you're on the wrong track. You need to provide value. You need to serve them first so that they then become clients of yours. If you're not providing that value, forget about it. This is not a radio commercial, this is not a television commercial or a radio commercial where somebody wants to sell you the latest new car. It's all about them at that point. But how can you bring them value? The way I brought them value is I provided a video that gave them a virtual video tour of the facility. And then at the end, I'd say very simply, by the way, if you haven't booked your DJ yet, I'd love to have that conversation. So I gave them value. And then I made a soft offer at the end for them to call me or, get a hold of me if they wanted. That continued to work for me for the 10 plus years thereafter. It still works for me today. I still get brides that call me today saying, hey, I saw that video on YouTube of you doing the venue hall. And, anyway, so, that's an example of upstream. Who's your upstream? How can you serve your upstream? How can you create value for your upstream so that they will then come to you? Because you're next in line on the ladder.
Right. Well, you sparked so many questions that I could keep you on all day. Unfortunately, I want to take a break in a minute, but before we do that, if someone wants to speak to you directly, do you want to give out your phone number a couple of times?
Sure.
Go for it.
Yep. Yeah, so my website is growstudiosclub.com, growstudios with an S, club.com. And then my phone number is 248-541-0250. That's 248-541-0250.
Okay, do you detect that professional aspect, folks? If not, you will as soon as we come back from our break. I got a bunch of other questions I want to ask you, and your information is fantastic. And I think anybody that is serious about wanting to grow their business, go to Grow Studios. We'll be right back. Don't you go away. In 1932, John B. Frentz moved to Royal Oak and opened Frentz Hardware. In addition to the personal service, the family offered the community a store that provided those needed everyday hardware items. Plus, they specialize in unusual and hard-to-find products. Right now, you'll find all the gardening hardware, fertilizer, seeds, weed killers, and more for your landscape. Frentz Hardware is still family-run at the corner of Main Street and 11.5-mile road in Royal Oak, and according to Popular Mechanics magazine, is one of the top 12 hardware stores in the United States. If you can't find it anywhere, you'll find it at Frentz. They're open every day. Call 248-544-8111. And when you call, Bob Allison's cookbooks are available for free. A limited supply is available. And if you would like some information on Bob Allison's cookbooks, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. But for hardware needs, call them directly, 248-544-8111. With all those numbers, I assume you'll be able to get a lottery ticket for free, or at least $1 million. Hope that you check out Friends Hardware in Royal Oak. Thank you. And welcome back. And as we all know, one of my favorite holidays is coming right up, Thanksgiving. And sponsor Ori Bakery has got some terrific favorites that you can send out to friends. In fact, the more I think about it, why do we have to wait for a holiday, especially now with our lockdown and stuff? Why not just call up? The direct number to them is 734-943-1301, and just have them send it out on your behalf and say, have a sweet day and holiday as well. So if you need specifics, our toll-free number, as I like to give out, is always available to you, 1-888-489-8980. So you can call our toll-free number, and I can verify our guest today, Dan Nichols, is a super dynamic type of person, an entrepreneur. And Dan, when we were able to get together in groups, actually did seminars for free at the Royal Oak Library. So now, fast forward, we can do stuff by Zoom meetings. So if anyone is interested in participating, Dan's going to be our speaker next Tuesday from 1 to 2. And we'd be glad to, 12 to 1. 12 to 1 next Tuesday. Just call and we can make arrangements. We can put you on email contact. And Dan is the type of guy that really wants to help people just for the sake of helping them, because it helps him and feeling good about himself. And we've talked about this before. Dan, you used to do the seminars at Royal Oak, and you really didn't charge, but you enjoyed what you could do for people. Is that right?
Yeah, well, the library will pay a small stipend to you, but I always told them to keep it because I've been a Royal Oaker my whole life, and I don't mind giving back, and that was a way for me to help them. And it's just something I love doing. I just, my whole thing was, this was a way for me, my studio, Grow Studios here in Troy, it was a way for me to monetize some of that passion that I have. It's to be able to bring people in, give them something different, which is a studio. Like, oh wow, the guy's got a professional studio. They come in, and then I get to help them. And that's the part that excites me, honestly, way more than just the video. The video is a tool that we use to help them monetize it. But you've got to get them touched, moved, and inspired. You got to bring them value and make them feel good about themselves so that they can make better videos and make better marketing and grow a better business.
And something that's very, very, very important, and we talked about it when we met, is that you can help identify the market as to where their product or service be most appreciated. So you don't just do the video or help them in putting the words to the end, but you actually give them guidance as to how to get to their market. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, and you actually said it, was I have a conversation. It all starts with a conversation, right? So we discuss, where's the friction? Like, why are you having trouble selling? Well, Dan, nobody knows about it. Okay, good. Well, there's an easy idea. We can figure that one out. A lot of times the friction is them in the sales process. A lot of times they make it difficult. I'll give you the perfect example is back when stores had, 5-day return policies. Then all of a sudden somebody says, well, what if we give them a 30-day? And then somebody says, what about a 60 or a 90-day? You're removing the friction. You've got to remove the friction from the sales process. Make it easy for somebody to buy. That's the trick. And a lot of people haven't figured that out with their business. I want to make it easy for people to buy even with my entertainment service, I have a money back guarantee if they're not happy. You know, I want them to be happy with the service. Now, thankfully, nobody's ever cashed that in. It's beautiful, but it's something that I feel makes it easier. It greases the wheels of progress, if you will. It makes the sale easier. And I'll give you another one. You brought up French and Sons Hardware. You had an ad for them in there. I grew up around French and Sons Hardware. When you walk into French and Sons, they provide instantaneous value. It's not like walking into some of the big box stores. I mean, and I do like some of them. I go into them, but I know one thing. When I go in, I need to help myself because I'm probably going to have a lot of difficulty finding somebody to help me. I go into French and Sons. First thing that happens is one of them walk up to me and say, "What can we help you with?" And I say, "I need this bolt right here." "Oh, follow me." Now, if I want to find that bolt at Home Depot or Lowe's, it's a bigger challenge. I think they see you coming and they run from you a bit. So, I really love French and Sons for that reason. They provide great value. And as business owners, that's what we need to do first and foremost. We need to be providing value. Not asking for money and then say, "Now I'll give you value." No, give them value now. Video is one of the ways we can serve people. One of the easiest, fastest ways.
Now, if someone wants to use your services, you've got several different types of programs. Do you want to share what they can expect?
Yeah, so those that want to do a subscription style, a membership style program with me, and they make a commitment to me, then I'll make a commitment to them. And the commitment that I make to them is I'm going to pour deep value into them and helping them get their business to grow by being consultative and helping them create great marketing pieces. That's something I'll do. Then I also have onesies where they can come in. "Hey, I just want an hour of your studio. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm good." And those people can come in and do that. So I can rent it out one at a time, 55 minutes at a time. I call it an hour, but because it takes an hour anyway, but we call it 55 minutes. And then on the other hand, they can do the membership style, which it's a deeper commitment from both of us. When they commit deeper to me, it's easier for me to commit to them. Why do I say that? Because we all, at the end of the day, need to eat, right? So that's how we pay our bills. So, when they're able to do that with me, then I'm able to pour more into them. But if somebody just comes in once in a while, it's just harder to invest in that because I need to eat as well. So.
But, this is not a one night stand. When they see you, they have the opportunity to pick your brain, so to speak, on an ongoing basis. And what's beautiful about it is the fact that you can also assist them with podcasts. You can really be sort of their guidance to make them successful in whatever area they want to be. And once they have a professional video done, they can use that as a simple way of making and closing a sale. You don't have to keep repeating it. You've got it right there, right in front of you. And is it safe for me to say Dan Nichols can make you a star?
I hope so. Yeah. I know that videos work for me, and I won't do something if I don't think that I understand it deeply, and I do understand it. I mean, I'm working on some of the tech side right now and ironing out some issues, but when it comes to the actual marketing and the capacity or the ability for video to help people sell more of what they've got, I know it. I've lived it. I can prove it. I can show it to them right in front of their faces. I can kind of walk them along my journey and show how it's worked for me and my businesses and how it can work for them as well.
You are terrific, and that's why I'm so happy that I'll look forward to working with you. Unfortunately, we'll run out of time. We'll revisit soon. And I don't like to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio